Beau had always been a man who prided himself on his strength. At 65 years old, retired from a long career as a high school teacher, he enjoyed quiet mornings tending to his garden and afternoons reading novels on his porch. But recently, something had changed. A few weeks ago, while walking up a small hill near his home, Beau suddenly felt an unfamiliar tightness in his chest. It wasn't sharp pain, just a dull pressure that made him pause and catch his breath. At first, he shrugged it off, thinking it was just age catching up. But when the episodes started to come more often, even during simple tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries, he knew he couldn't ignore it any longer. Reluctantly, Beau visited his doctor, hoping for reassurance. Instead, he received a serious warning. His heart was weakening. The doctor explained that Beau's symptoms were signs of early heart failure, a condition where the heart struggles to pump blood effectively. Hearing those words shook Beau deeply. He thought about his family, his wife, and his grandchildren. He wanted to be around to see them grow and share more moments together. That day marked the beginning of a transformation, not just in his body, but in his mind and spirit. Beau realized that his previous lifestyle, though comfortable, had contributed to his condition. He had ignored subtle signs like fatigue and occasional breathlessness, dismissing them as normal for his age. Now, facing the reality of a weakened heart, he decided to take control. Slowly, he began to change his diet, cutting back on salty and processed foods, and welcoming more fresh vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. The garden he once tended for pleasure became a source of healing, as he grew leafy greens and herbs to nourish his body. Alongside his diet, Beau introduced gentle exercises into his daily routine. Walking, stretching, and light strength training helped improve his circulation and gave him a renewed sense of energy. But the change wasn't just physical. Beau started to shift his mindset. Instead of fearing his diagnosis, he embraced it as a wake-up call, a chance to live with more awareness and gratitude. He found comfort in sharing his journey with close friends and family who supported and encouraged him every step of the way. This transformation wasn't without challenges. There were days when Beau felt discouraged, overwhelmed by the slow progress or the weight of medical appointments. Yet each small improvement, whether a longer walk or a peaceful night's sleep, fueled his determination. Over time, Beau learned to listen to his body's signals, respecting its limits while gently pushing forward. His heart, though still vulnerable, grew stronger with each mindful choice. Through Beau's story, we understand how heart failure can quietly creep into the lives of many seniors, often masked by everyday tiredness or dismissed as normal aging. But it doesn't have to define the years ahead. With patience, care, and the right support, a weakened heart can find resilience. Beau's journey reminds us that it's never too late to reclaim our health and cherish the moments that truly matter. Beau woke up one morning feeling unusually tired, even though he had gone to bed early the night before. At 65, he was used to waking up a little slower than before, but this time something felt different. His legs were swollen slightly, and as he stood up, a wave of shortness of breath hit him. It was subtle, almost like a whisper from his body, but Beau knew it was something worth paying attention to. He recalled the doctor's words from his last visit. His heart was weakening and he needed to be careful. That day marked the beginning of a new kind of awareness. Beau realized that his body was trying to tell him a story, one he had ignored for too long. As he sat quietly in his favorite armchair, Beau thought about how often he had brushed off those little signs. The fatigue, the breathlessness after climbing stairs, the swelling in his ankles. Life had felt busy but comfortable, and he assumed these were just the natural aches of getting older. But now, the pieces were coming together in a way he couldn't ignore. The feeling of his legs swelling was a sign of fluid retention, a common symptom when the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently. It was a message from his body that things were out of balance. This new awareness nudged Beau to take his condition seriously. He began to keep a small notebook, jotting down his daily symptoms, how he felt after walking, eating, or resting. Sometimes the swelling was worse, other times the breathlessness faded, but the notes helped him understand the rhythms of his heart struggle. This simple act of listening made Beau feel less powerless. It gave him a sense of control, a way to partner with his body rather than fight against it. One afternoon, Beau's daughter, Emily, came to visit. She noticed his cautious movements and the slight puffiness in his ankles. Sitting beside him, she gently asked how he was feeling. Beau hesitated, but then shared his new habit of tracking symptoms. Emily smiled warmly, squeezing his hand. "Dad, this is good. We're in this together," she said. Her support was a balm to Beau's anxious heart. He realized that accepting help and sharing his journey didn't make him weak, it made him stronger. Beau's doctor had also emphasized the importance of regular check-ins, and so he made a promise to himself. He wouldn't delay medical appointments anymore. Each visit was an opportunity to learn more about his heart and how to keep it steady. The doctor explained that swelling, fatigue, and breathlessness were common in early heart failure but could be managed with the right lifestyle changes and medications. Beau was relieved to hear that while the heart may be weakened, it wasn't the end of his story. In this first phase of his transformation, Beau began to understand that health wasn't just about ignoring discomfort or pushing through pain. It was about listening deeply and responding kindly to the signals his body sent. That change in mindset gave him hope. He was no longer a bystander watching his health decline, but an active participant in his recovery. Beau's journey was just beginning, and with each new day, he grew more attuned to the subtle messages his heart whispered. After recognizing the early signs his body had been signaling, Beau realized that listening was only the first step. The next challenge was changing habits that had quietly weighed on his heart for years, especially his diet. Growing up, Beau had always enjoyed hearty meals, rich stews, fried foods, and salty snacks that reminded him of family dinners and celebrations. Food was comfort, tradition, and joy. Yet now, that comfort seemed like a hidden burden. The doctor's advice was clear, but hard to swallow. Reducing salt, cutting down on processed foods, and eating more fresh produce could ease the strain on his heart. Beau began to approach mealtime differently. His wife, Linda, was initially surprised when he suggested cooking with less salt and trying new recipes filled with vegetables. "You don't need to suffer for your heart," she said gently, and together they explored healthier ways to prepare their favorite dishes. Steaming instead of frying, adding herbs instead of salt, and incorporating foods rich in potassium like bananas and leafy greens soon became part of their daily routine. Beau discovered that these changes not only made his meals lighter but also more colorful and interesting. One evening, as they sat down to eat a bowl of homemade vegetable soup, Beau shared what he had learned from the doctor about sodium's impact on blood pressure. Too much salt made his heart work harder by causing his body to retain fluid, explaining the swelling he had noticed in his legs. The potassium in foods like spinach and sweet potatoes helped counterbalance this effect, protecting his heart and kidneys. Knowing this made each bite feel purposeful. Beau wasn't just eating to fill his stomach, he was feeding his heart. Linda's encouragement was invaluable. She saw how the dietary changes lifted Beau's mood and energy. Family dinners became moments of shared hope and renewal rather than reminders of restrictions. Their grandchildren, curious about the new veggies on their plates, joined in with playful questions, making the transition feel like a family adventure. Beau felt a deep gratitude, not only for the food, but for the support that surrounded him. This was no longer a solo battle. Despite the positive changes, Beau faced moments of frustration. He missed the familiar tastes and sometimes questioned if the effort was worth it. But each time fatigue or breathlessness reminded him of his heart's fragility, he found renewed motivation. Slowly, the healthier foods began to satisfy more than his appetite. They nourished his determination to live fully. Beau realized that changing his diet was also changing his relationship with his body, from neglect to care. Beau's doctor praised his progress during their visits and reminded him that nutrition was one of the most powerful tools to manage heart failure. "Food can be medicine," the doctor said, smiling kindly. This simple truth resonated deeply with Beau. It shifted his mindset from seeing restrictions as loss to embracing them as gifts, choices that could extend his years and enrich his days. This phase of Beau's journey taught him patience and kindness. Changing lifelong habits wasn't easy, but with every healthy meal shared, he felt a little stronger, a little more hopeful. The kitchen became a place of healing, and the simple act of eating turned into an act of love, for himself and for those who cared about him. Beau understood that nurturing his heart meant embracing change not as punishment, but as possibility. As Beau settled into his new eating habits, another realization dawned on him. Changing his diet was only one part of a larger transformation. His doctor had mentioned that staying active was just as important for a heart struggling to keep up. But after years of a mostly sedentary lifestyle, the idea of exercise felt daunting. Beau remembered the last time he tried jogging, his breath would catch and his legs would ache. Yet deep down, he knew movement was essential, not just for his body, but for his spirit. One crisp morning, Beau decided to take a slow walk around his neighborhood. The air was fresh and the sun warmed his face gently as he stepped outside. His legs felt weak at first and his breath came quicker than he liked, but he reminded himself this was not a race. With each step, he noticed the world around him, the chirping birds, the scent of blooming flowers, neighbors greeting him warmly. Walking wasn't just exercise, it was a way to reconnect with life outside the walls of his home. Beau's daughter Emily joined him on some of these walks, chatting about family stories and shared memories. Their conversations lightened the mood and made the steps feel easier. Sometimes they would pause to rest on a bench, enjoying the quiet moments together. Beau learned to listen to his body, understanding the difference between gentle effort and strain. This patience was new to him, but it quickly became a source of pride rather than frustration. Alongside walking, Beau incorporated light, stretching, and simple strengthening exercises his doctor recommended. He realized these movements helped improve circulation and eased the swelling in his legs. More importantly, they gave him a sense of agency. Each morning routine became a ritual of self-care, a reminder that his heart, though fragile, was capable of resilience. Beau began to notice subtle changes, less breathlessness, more energy, and a growing confidence in his ability to face the challenges ahead. There were setbacks, of course. Some days, fatigue overwhelmed him, and the temptation to give up whispered loudly. But Beau's mindset had shifted. Instead of viewing these moments as failures, he embraced them as part of the journey, a reminder that healing was not linear. He found solace in small victories, walking a little farther, resting a little less, feeling a little stronger. The support of his family played a vital role. Linda cheered his progress with warm smiles, and Emily's encouragement reminded him that he was not alone. They celebrated milestones, like completing a full lap around the park or managing chores without exhaustion. These moments deepened their bonds and gave Beau renewed purpose. He wasn't just surviving, he was rediscovering joy. Beau also found unexpected comfort in joining a local senior walking group. Meeting others who faced similar health challenges created a sense of community. They shared stories, struggles, and tips, and Beau felt understood in a way he hadn't before. Together, they inspired each other to keep moving forward. This chapter of Beau's transformation was as much about mental strength as physical. He learned to accept his limitations without surrendering to them. With each gentle step, Beau rewrote the story of his heart, not as a fragile organ destined to fail, but as a partner capable of adapting and enduring. Movement became more than exercise. It was a declaration of hope. Despite the progress Beau was making with his diet and gentle exercise, there remained a shadow he couldn't quite shake, the fear of what the future held. Some nights, as he lay awake listening to the quiet hum of his home, worries crept in. What if his heart failed despite all his efforts? What if he couldn't be there for Linda or see his grandchildren grow up? The diagnosis that had once felt like a distant possibility was now a part of his daily reality, and that truth was heavy. Beau found himself wrestling with these thoughts more often than he cared to admit. The uncertainty of heart failure was unsettling. Sometimes it felt like walking a tightrope, balancing hope and fear with every breath. Yet, in those vulnerable moments, Beau discovered something unexpected, a deeper strength rooted in acceptance. Instead of trying to push away his worries, he began to face them head-on. One afternoon, during a visit to his doctor, Beau shared his fears openly. The doctor listened with kindness and offered reassurance. "It's natural to be afraid," she said softly, "but remember, your heart's condition is a part of your story, not the whole story. With the right care, you can live a meaningful life. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps." Her words lingered with Beau, settling in his mind like a gentle light. Inspired by this conversation, Beau started opening up more to Linda and Emily about his feelings. Talking about his fears didn't make him weaker, it brought them closer. Linda held his hand during late-night talks, reminding him of the love and memories they shared. Emily offered practical help, researching new treatments and helping him organize appointments. The act of sharing eased Beau's burden, making the journey feel less lonely. Beau also began journaling his thoughts and emotions, a practice suggested by a friend who had faced similar health struggles. Writing became a safe space where he could pour out anxieties and hopes without judgment. Through his journal, Beau discovered a growing resilience. He wrote about small joys, a sunny morning, a kind word from a neighbor, a quiet moment with Linda. These moments became anchors, grounding him amid uncertainty. Alongside emotional growth, Beau became more aware of how crucial routine medical care was for managing his heart condition. He learned about the importance of medications to support his heart's function and how monitoring symptoms closely could prevent crises. Each checkup was a reminder that his health was a daily commitment, not a one-time fix. This awareness gave Beau a sense of partnership with his healthcare team, an alliance working toward a shared goal. Despite the fear that sometimes lingered, Beau's outlook was changing. He was beginning to see heart failure not just as an end, but as a call to live more intentionally. This shift in mindset sparked gratitude for each day he could spend with loved ones and each breath his heart managed to take. Fear remained a companion, but it no longer ruled his story. Beau's journey through fear to acceptance was a powerful turning point. It reminded him and those around him that vulnerability can coexist with courage. By embracing reality with open eyes and a hopeful heart, Beau laid the foundation for the next stages of his transformation. It was no longer about fighting a losing battle, but about finding peace within the fight. As Beau continued navigating the ups and downs of his heart condition, he discovered something profoundly comforting: the power of support. In the past, he had been a man who faced challenges quietly, often alone. But now, with his health fragile and the road ahead uncertain, Beau realized that accepting help wasn't a sign of weakness, but a vital source of strength. Linda, his wife, had been a steadfast presence from the beginning. She adjusted her own routines to care for Beau, preparing heart-friendly meals, reminding him about medications, and accompanying him to doctor appointments. Their relationship deepened in ways Beau hadn't expected. The small gestures, the gentle touch on his arm, the warm smile over morning tea became pillars holding him up on difficult days. He felt seen and loved in a way that transcended words. Emily, Beau's daughter, played a crucial role too. Living a few towns away, she made weekly visits and phone calls, offering not just practical help but emotional support. Beau treasured their conversations, where she listened without judgment and encouraged him to share both hopes and fears. One afternoon, she introduced him to a local support group for seniors with heart conditions. Hesitant at first, Beau decided to attend, unsure of what to expect. The support group became a sanctuary. Sitting among people who truly understood the daily challenges of a weakened heart, Beau found empathy and camaraderie. They shared stories of struggle and triumph, exchanged advice on managing symptoms, and celebrated small victories together. Hearing others' journeys reminded Beau that he was not alone, and that hope was alive in every shared smile and story. This sense of community extended beyond formal groups. Neighbors checked in regularly, bringing fresh fruit or simply stopping by for a chat. Friends invited Beau for gentle walks or coffee, keeping him connected to the life he cherished. Each interaction strengthened his spirit and gave him the motivation to keep caring for himself. Beau's doctor also emphasized the importance of this support network. She explained that emotional well-being could significantly impact heart health, reducing stress and improving outcomes. Beau began practicing small mindfulness exercises and breathing techniques recommended by his healthcare team, often with Linda joining him. These moments of calm helped him face uncertainty with a steadier heart. While the journey was still challenging, Beau realized that the love and care surrounding him were as vital as any medication. They fueled his resilience and reminded him that healing was not just physical, but deeply human. Each day spent leaning on family and community was a day reclaiming life. In this chapter of his transformation, Beau learned the profound truth that no one is meant to walk difficult paths alone. By opening his heart to others, he found a wellspring of strength that helped carry him forward. The journey wasn't just about managing symptoms, it was about embracing connection, love, and shared hope. Months had passed since Beau first felt that tightness in his chest, the moment that changed everything. Looking back, he realized how much his life had transformed. The journey wasn't easy, filled with moments of doubt, fatigue, and fear, but it was also a story of resilience, love, and renewed purpose. Beau now saw his weakened heart not as a sentence, but as a call to live more mindfully, more fully. Each morning began with gratitude, a quiet recognition of the breath in his lungs and the beating of his heart. Beau continued to nourish his body with the fresh, heart-friendly foods he and Linda lovingly prepared. The garden they tended together had become a symbol of growth and healing, much like his own journey. Every vegetable harvested reminded him that life, even when fragile, could thrive with care. His daily walks, once a tentative effort, had grown into a cherished ritual. Beau found joy in the rhythm of his steps, the warmth of the sun, and the gentle conversations with neighbors and friends. Movement was no longer a chore, but a celebration of what his body could still do. He had learned to listen, to pace himself and respect his limits, finding balance in each step forward. Beau's fears had not vanished, but they no longer controlled him. Instead, they coexisted with hope and determination. With the unwavering support of Linda, Emily, his doctor, and his community, Beau felt empowered to face whatever came next. He knew that managing his heart condition was an ongoing journey, one requiring patience and commitment. But now he carried it with confidence. The experiences Beau shared with others became a source of strength. He spoke openly about the importance of listening to one's body, embracing lifestyle changes, and leaning on loved ones. His story inspired friends and acquaintances to pay attention to their own health and seek help early. Beau became not just a survivor, but a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of heart failure, life could be rich and meaningful. As Beau sat on his porch one evening, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of gold and pink, he reflected on how far he had come. The journey had changed him, not just physically but spiritually. He had learned that a heart's strength is measured not only by its beat, but by the courage to embrace change and the willingness to accept help. Beau smiled softly, feeling a deep peace within. His story was far from over, but Beau faced the future with an open heart and steady breath. Through transformation, connection, and hope, he had reclaimed his life, and that he knew was the greatest gift of all. As the seasons changed, Beau understood that managing his heart health wasn't just a phase or a short-term fix, it was a lifelong commitment. This realization brought a sense of responsibility, but also empowerment. He was no longer a passive patient waiting for problems to arise. He had become an active guardian of his well-being, building daily routines that supported his heart and nurtured his spirit. Every morning, Beau began with a simple ritual. Before breakfast, he took a few moments to sit quietly, focusing on his breathing, grounding himself in the present moment. These mindfulness practices, taught by his doctor, helped ease anxiety and brought calm to his day. It was a small but powerful way to honor his body and mind, reminding him that heart care was as much about emotional balance as physical health. Beau's diet remained a cornerstone of his wellness. He and Linda continued exploring new heart-healthy recipes, experimenting with spices and herbs that added flavor without salt. They made cooking an act of love and creativity, sharing meals that fueled their bodies and lifted their spirits. Through their garden, fresh vegetables and fruits were always close at hand, symbols of growth, patience, and healing. Exercise, too, became a cherished part of Beau's routine. His walks grew steadier and longer, accompanied sometimes by Linda or friends from the community group. He learned to listen deeply to his body's signals, balancing effort with rest and celebrating progress no matter how small. On days when energy waned, he found gentle yoga and stretching helped keep him moving without strain. Each movement was a promise kept to his heart, a vow to honor its work every day. Beyond physical care, Beau cultivated social connections that enriched his life. He stayed involved with the support group, finding strength in shared stories and mutual encouragement. Regular phone calls with Emily and visits from family reminded him of the love that surrounded him, a vital source of motivation and comfort. These bonds made his journey feel less lonely and more purposeful. Through these daily practices, Beau also became an advocate for heart health among his friends and neighbors. He spoke openly about his experiences, encouraging others to listen to their bodies and seek help early. His story offered hope that heart failure was not a sentence, but a challenge that could be met with care, resilience, and community. Of course, there were still difficult days. Some mornings brought fatigue or shortness of breath that reminded Beau of his vulnerability. But with each challenge, his commitment to wellness deepened. He no longer feared setbacks, but met them with patience and determination. Beau learned that heart health was a lifelong journey, not a destination, and every step mattered. This phase of Beau's story highlights the power of commitment, not just to treatment or lifestyle changes, but to self-compassion and hope. Through mindful care and steady routines, Beau built a foundation for a life lived fully, despite the fragility of his heart. His transformation was not just about managing illness, but about embracing the precious gift of each new day with courage and grace. Despite Beau's dedication to his heart health, the journey was never perfectly smooth. There were days when fatigue overwhelmed him and breathlessness made simple tasks feel like mountains to climb. These setbacks tested his resolve and reminded him that healing was not a straight path. But rather than succumbing to frustration or fear, Beau learned to meet these challenges with patience and compassion. One particularly difficult week, Beau experienced increased swelling in his legs and shortness of breath even at rest. Alarmed, he contacted his doctor, who adjusted his medications and reminded him of the importance of rest and careful monitoring. Though it was discouraging to face new hurdles, Beau took solace in knowing he was not alone. His healthcare team stood ready to support him, and his family rallied around him with love and encouragement. These moments of struggle taught Beau a vital lesson. Setbacks were part of the process, not signs of failure. He grew to understand that managing heart failure required flexibility and resilience. When his body signaled distress, he listened carefully and responded with appropriate care, whether that meant resting more, adjusting activity, or seeking medical advice. Emotionally, Beau found strength in vulnerability. Sharing his fears and frustrations with Linda and Emily helped lighten the burden. Their unwavering support reminded him that heart health was not a solo journey but a shared experience. Beau also found comfort in the support group, where others openly discussed their own ups and downs, creating a safe space for honesty and healing. Beau's mindset shifted from chasing perfection to embracing progress. He celebrated small victories, a day with less swelling, a peaceful night's sleep, a gentle walk without breathlessness. Each was a reminder of his heart's capacity to recover and adapt. This perspective gave him courage to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Through these challenges, Beau's commitment deepened. He maintained his routines, stayed connected with loved ones, and trusted his medical team. The setbacks became opportunities to learn and grow stronger, reinforcing his resilience and hope. Beau's story teaches us that healing is rarely linear. It is marked by peaks and valleys, moments of triumph and times of trial. But with patience, support, and determination, even the hardest challenges can become stepping stones toward a fuller life. Beau's heart, though fragile, beat on with quiet strength, proof that courage and care can overcome the toughest battles. After facing the inevitable ups and downs of managing his heart condition, Beau began to notice something deeply rewarding: his ability to find joy in small, everyday moments. Each morning, he woke feeling a little stronger, each walk felt a little easier, and every shared meal with Linda became a celebration of life and love. These seemingly simple experiences took on profound meaning, reminding him that healing was as much about the heart and spirit as it was about the body. One sunny afternoon, Beau sat on the porch watching birds flutter around the garden he and Linda tended with care. The vibrant colors of flowers and fresh greens were a feast for the eyes, and the gentle breeze carried the scent of herbs. He felt a quiet gratitude for this peaceful scene, a stark contrast to the fear and uncertainty that had once filled his days. Beau realized that his journey had taught him to slow down and savor life's small pleasures, embracing moments of calm and connection. Beau also found joy in his growing relationship with the local support group. The friendships forged there brought laughter and companionship into his life. Sharing stories of challenges and triumphs created a sense of belonging and understanding. On meeting days, Beau felt energized by the collective spirit, inspired by others' courage and determination. These gatherings became a highlight of his week, a reminder that he was part of a community facing similar battles with hope. Emily noticed this shift too. During one visit, she commented on how much more at peace Beau seemed. He smiled and told her how embracing the little victories, like completing a gentle walk without exhaustion or preparing a new heart-healthy recipe, had changed his outlook. It was no longer about the distant goal of getting better, but about appreciating progress as it came, however small. This mindset transformed his experience from one of struggle to one of celebration. Even medical appointments took on a new tone. Instead of feeling anxious or defeated, Beau approached them as opportunities to learn and share his progress. Positive feedback from his doctor reinforced his motivation, while honest conversations about setbacks prepared him to face challenges without fear. Beau felt more empowered than ever to participate actively in his care. This growing joy was not just about health improvements, but about reclaiming his life. Beau re-engaged with hobbies he had set aside: reading, gardening, and gentle woodworking. These activities gave him purpose and satisfaction, reminding him that his identity extended beyond his diagnosis. Beau found that nurturing his passions was as important as managing symptoms. Through all of this, Beau's heart grew not only stronger, but more open. He embraced the fullness of his journey, the fears, the setbacks, and the triumphs, with grace and gratitude. He learned that healing was not about perfection, but about presence, patience, and the courage to keep moving forward. Beau's story encourages us to recognize and cherish the small victories along our own paths. In the quiet moments of life, we find strength, hope, and the simple joy that sustains us. His heart, though challenged, beats with renewed life, a testament to the power of resilience and love. As Beau looked back over the past months, he was struck by how much his life had changed, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The journey through heart failure had been one of challenge and growth, fear and courage, loss and rediscovery. While his heart remained fragile, Beau's spirit was stronger than ever. He had learned that a weakened heart did not mean a weakened life. One quiet evening, sitting beside Linda as the sun dipped below the horizon, Beau reflected on the lessons his journey had taught him. He realized that hope was not a distant dream, but a daily choice, a decision to embrace each new day with openness and courage. His commitment to diet, exercise, medical care, and emotional well-being had woven together into a tapestry of resilience and purpose. Beau's relationships had deepened in unexpected ways. The support of family, friends, and community had been a lifeline, reminding him that no one faces hardship alone. Sharing his story had become a source of strength for others as well, a beacon that encouraged those struggling with their own health to take heart and keep going. Looking forward, Beau embraced the uncertainty with grace. He knew that managing heart failure was an ongoing journey with new challenges and victories ahead. But armed with knowledge, support, and a hopeful heart, he felt ready to face whatever came his way. Every beat was a reminder of life's preciousness and the power of resilience. Beau's story is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to adapt and thrive, even in the face of serious illness. It teaches us that while our bodies may falter, our hearts can remain strong, not just in muscle, but in hope, love, and determination. Through his journey, Beau found not just survival, but a renewed appreciation for the beauty of each moment. As the stars appeared in the night sky, Beau closed his eyes with a peaceful smile, knowing that his heart, though vulnerable, was full of hope, full of love, and full of life. Beau's journey through heart failure showed us how powerful small changes can be. From the moment he began truly listening to his body's subtle warnings, to embracing a heart-healthy diet and gentle daily movement, Beau transformed not only his health, but his entire outlook on life. He learned that caring for his heart wasn't a burden, it was an act of love for himself and those around him. His story invites each of us to pause and reflect. Are we truly tuning in to what our bodies are telling us? Sometimes fatigue, breathlessness, or swelling may seem like normal signs of aging, but they can be early whispers of a heart needing attention. By making mindful choices, whether in how we eat, move, or seek support, we can protect our hearts and enrich our lives. If you or someone you love recognizes any of these signs, take a moment to listen. Reach out to your healthcare provider, lean on your family and community, and embrace the changes that lead to a stronger, healthier heart. It's never too late to begin. Beau's story reminds us that even when the heart feels weak, our spirit can remain strong. With patience, compassion, and hope, each new day is an opportunity to nurture our hearts and live fully. Let your journey toward heart health start today with courage, care, and the gentle belief that life's best moments are still ahead.